Opinionated, lying, waste of space, unintelligible, one-trick pony, artist, personally should be shot in the head. These are all things that I've had said about me in the last 6 or 8 months by various members of the art community. Now, wonder of wonders, these people never say who they are. They never give their real names. Let me explain. For the past 6 or 8 months, since I released the first DVD, which is the Mudbox one, I've had more shit than most people in the industry realise. I've become a victim of some sort of stealth hate campaign. I get hundreds of emails every week, ranging from why don't you go and kill yourself, you waste of space, to we will force you out of the industry because we don't like you and we have control, whoever the we is. I haven't mentioned anything to people. I think there's only 2 people in the industry know this. It doesn't overly bother me, more than the fact that it started to get a little bit out of hand. Now, in one of the previous ones, Waynecast, I did touch on the fact that I'd had a lot, of crap I'd read on a forum. When I was looking for pirate versions of my software, let's move this bank a bit so out of the way of the wind. And I saw a conversation that was basically people trying to plot ways to not only try and force me offline in the art world, for whatever bloody reason, I really do not understand it, and also try to bring down Curve Studios. Now, that's not nice to read, especially if there's more than one person. So, this Waynecast is solely at the person or people behind this. Now, the chances are, most people watching this are probably thinking, oh, what a load of whinging shite, and they're turned off by now, so they're just you and me, right? Now, if you think you have any hope whatsoever of forcing me out of something that I love, away from an industry that really gives me a reason to do stuff and to get up in the morning, you ain't got a fucking prayer. You don't know me very well. Sometimes people mistake my forthrightness due to the fact I'm from northeast of England. Ask anybody in England and they'll tell you that basically Geordies can be a bit of a pain in the arse. So, whatever. All this stuff about over-opinionated. No. I've made one opinion in the past that I was very, very sorry about later on. I'll cover that in part 2 because I want to go on that in depth, and that's to cover the whole thing that went round ZBrush 2.5, which I know is still in a lot of people's minds. And although this has been dealt with between myself and Pixologic and everybody's happy, I think some of the ZBrush user base don't realise this, so it's time for me to spell it out in words 6 foot high in big red fucking letters. Now, I get told all the time in emails that I'm lying, that I can't possibly. I just put a model out called the Beast. I set myself just basically a project, just myself, and what I wanted to do was to prove that I could knock out something from no idea whatsoever to a final render inside of 3 working hours. That's 3 1-hour sessions split over 3 days. And I did it. Didn't do it to impress people. I'm not lying. The reason why I work as fast is because I put a lot of bloody work into trying to work fast. That might not make any sense. Now, some of you know that I used to be an escape artist, and I still hold the world record. Now, the way you break any world record is basically, I'll just get moving because there's somebody coming down, I think I'm a lunatic, is you cut down all unnecessary actions. You work out the short way of doing everything. That's what I did. That's what I do with modelling all the time. So last night I worked out a way to save about 15 minutes doing ears. Now I am going to share that on that video at some point, once I can get it encoded to the right size and quality. Now I'm not doing that just because I want to look big or important, because I'm not. To be honest, there's not one artist in the whole field of 3D that is what I would call an important person. Let me explain. World leaders are important, religious leaders are important, people who start wars, fight wars, people who get killed. We just make pretty fucking pictures, right? Get a grip. Now I know people are going to say, wait a minute, you just said you're not opinionated. That's not an opinion, that's the truth. We're not important, we just make pictures. Art can say something, art can have power, but that does not mean that we have the right to behave like arseholes. Does that make sense? I hope so. Now, so when people say that I'm lying, no, it just means I've put a lot of work in. And when I say that I've put 2 years in, of ending up to 18 hours, usually it was between about 12 and 14, 16, I mean it. That's not me joking. That's not me saying I had a job and did this. I give everything, including, the source of money I had coming in to learn this and to optimise my workflow. If you do not like that and you're not prepared to do the same thing, don't call me a liar. Try it yourself. You might be surprised, you might learn something. Now, I've also been accused of being a traitor. Now I'm guessing, this is only a guess, mate, because these people never go into firm details, do they? This comes from the fact that I've done 2 Mudbox discs, and now I've done, up till now, 2 ZBrush discs. And I'm not quite sure where this comes from, because let's face it, I am not the only person in the industry who's done both Mudbox and ZBrush discs. There's one other person, Zach Petrov. Now, as far as I know, I don't know Zach from Adam, really. Never spoke to the man, but I'm pretty damn sure he's not getting the same shite I am. Now, does that mean that I think I am an artist of equal quality as Zach Petrov? That's not a valid question. Art is subjective. Now, let me put it this way. If you asked my 2.5-year-old son who he thought was the best artist in the world, he'll say Daddy, because he actually believes that I'm the best artist. I'm not. Now, you ask Zach Petrov's mother, she'll probably say, yeah, I think he's the best artist in the world. You ask some guy, like the person in that house over there, that big white one, and they'll probably say, no, I prefer Michelangelo, or I like a bit of Da Vinci, but I'm more into Botticelli sort of stuff, things like that. There is no better. There is no king of the fucking hill. We are all artists. It is open to interpretation. I don't think I'm the best. I never will be the best, because there isn't a first place to have. This is not like the music charts or the film charts. There's no first prize for being the top guy. All you can be is popular. And being popular, some artists say is a good thing, some say is a bad thing. By being populist, your work gets more coverage. You get people saying, oh, this is wonderful. And, well, on the downside, you get into the rather big head. And all that stuff. But, no, there's no places. There's no first place, second place. The nearest you can come is on sales figures. And as the best you're ever going to get is rumour, even if it's only strong rumour, of the sales figures between the different companies. There's no way to compare it, quite honestly. I have information that some of my disavows sold some rather big names. Don't know that to be a fact, course I bloody don't. For all I know, this person, well actually 2 people, could tell me what I want to hear. So I just think, right, I'll go on the actual sales, how much money's coming in, and how many people that send things to me saying nice stuff. Not, we think you're great, but we found your DVDs helpful. You weren't just rattling through a model, you explained every step. Great, whatever. Now I do notice that every time that I do something on, well, this tractor gets past. Every time I release something, be it a DVD, write an article, do something that I think is a pretty damn good model, I get more emails, a lot more bloody emails. So, I'm not an idiot enough to think this is going to stop anytime soon. So again, to this person and persons, I'm not going anywhere. I'm around for a long time, until either my hands give up, my brain gives up and I go crazy, or I drop dead. I'm here to stay. There's nothing you can do that will make me leave the industry. So you're wasting time. Now, those of you that are still hanging around may say, well, wait a minute, why the hell don't you just use a spam filter? Well, I did actually try this for about 2 weeks. Unfortunately, the spam filter didn't exactly do what it said in the tin, and it was shite. It basically filtered out a lot of very important emails. I nearly lost some important work over it. So, no, can't actually use that. So I'm going to check them all by hand. And it's not the best thing in the world to read things telling you how many kinds of an arsehole people think you are. People sometimes forget that I was a performer for many more years, and at a much higher level than I'll ever be as an artist, than enough. I am used to standing in front, until I stopped, 40,000 people in a straitjacket on your own. Now, it's not a matter of balls, but it's a bit like a comedian. It's the loneliest job in the world. If you don't have an outgoing personality, you're fucked. That's it. Simple as that. And that doesn't leave you. Anybody who's been a performer, and I'm not about just playing in bands and stuff, but if you've been a solo performer on a stage for any length of time, and you've got any modicum of success, you've made a bit of money, not rich, but you've made a bit of money, then you'll see that it sticks with you. I think nothing can stand in front of like as many people as you like. I'll stand in the middle of Long Beach Arena and do a modelling session if somebody asked us to. Wouldn't bother me the slightest. So if you don't like my attitude, basically in the words of my late uncle, tough, get over it. I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going to change, and that's what the size of it. I'm going to go into part 2 now, because I want to move on to more the ZBrush stuff and stuff, and explain about the 2.5 situation, why it occurred, why I was wrong, and why everything in the garden's now rosy. Alright, cover that in detail, for those of you that still got a bit of a problem.